Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Give honors to the apostles and the bishops and the elders of great millstone who teach well. Well, the apostles and the elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sincere salutation told all can pushing this truth and believing this truth, but the full wings of the earth. Then tell your world shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the what well listening learning. If your sisters well listening learning. Coming at you another lesson, true faith, and edification. Another daily edification, Lord wills be edifying. So I title this lesson. There are special judgments that Yahweh Shah would do up close and in person. I just got a few precepts. Before I go into this, looking at what happened in Alabama with this Jake and these Jakes. Jake is ready to get loose on these Edomites, man. When they tell you in Genesis that Judah that Judah is a lion whelp crotch, who shall rouse them up? Man, listen. And this applies to all 12 tribes of Israel, man. Jake is ready to get loose on these Edomites, man. They ready. It's gonna be a real problem. When it tell you when Michael was that Michael 5, verse 7 and 8 tells about the remnant of Israel being like a lion in the midst of these heathen nations, man. But just looking at that, the Lord is rounding up Jake, man. All 12 tribes, man. Jake is pissed off. Jake is tired of these Edomites. And eventually, man, it's going to be serious out here real soon. So, to tie this lesson again, there are special judgments that Yahweh Shah would do up close and in person. Up close and personal judgments, man. So, one of the brothers in the camp was asking me about this a while ago, and he mentioned it last night. And he was like, you had said that Matthew 16 and 28 is like an end time prophecy. And I was like, yeah. So let's read this. This is Matthew 16 and 28. Verily I say unto you, this is Yahweh Shah speaking. Let's put it in the red. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his glory. This is a special judgment. Oh, there was another precept I wanted to get. Let me get this real quick. I meant to pull this up too. And let me double check this. This is a special judgment, man, that's coming. You got a special judgment that's coming. If Jake take that micro C hip, there's a special judgment coming to those that take that. But there's another kind of judgment too. Let me see. There's a precept in what is that, Ezekiel? Let me see here. Is it 21? Let me see. Bear with me for a moment. There's a special kind of judgment that's coming to Jake that take the micro seal, and those that got a different judgment when Yahweh shall return, man. So I'm looking for this real quick. Bear with me for a moment. And the Lord said it when you read in Luke 19 and 27. But those my enemies, right? Yeah. So this is Ezekiel 20 and 38. It just got a few precepts just to back up the point of this verse in Matthew 16 and 28. When it says, Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So this is Ezekiel 20. We're gonna start at 33. Let's pull it up. Just a few precepts to back up this precept in Matthew 16 and 28. So this is Ezekiel. The Lord, Yahweh is going to judge many personally, man. There's a grievous judgment, a grievous death coming to those that take that micro seal. But then there's a different judgment as well. The Lord said He's gonna judge you to your face, man. I'm finna read it to you. This is Ezekiel 20 and 33. As I live, saith the Lord Yahweh God, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you, and I will bring you out from among the people, and will gather you out of all countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord God. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they have sojourned, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So, going back to Matthew 16 and 28, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming. These is different type of judgments, man. This is Luke, the Yahweh is going to execute. And kings don't get their hands dirty, right? Kings don't get their hands dirty. They send the henchmen, man. This is Luke 12 and 35. Just a lesson I was meditating on because the brother asked me, about this. So we talked about it a while ago, but then he mentioned it last night. So I was like, man, let me do a lesson on it. Luke 12 and 35. Let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants, right? So now they say, Luke 12 and 45, and if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And the servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. See that? Shall be beaten with many stripes. This is Matthew. It's a few precepts to back up Matthew 16 and 28. The Lord said, there shall be many standing here that shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man come. This is Matthew 13 and 41. It reads, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, that shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. See, it's the Lord is coming to do this, man. And the kingdom get his hands dirty again, man. So when you're reading Revelation, which I'm going to read, right, when it say his remnant was stained, like he that treadeth in the wine fat, the king don't get busy. The king don't get dirty, man. He got henchmen for that. But he's going to do this personally. I read to you Ezekiel 20. The Lord said he will plead with you face to face, which they want to get Deuteronomy 79. Now here's another one. This is Matthew. You get Matthew 24. Because it mentioned about the Lord sending forth his angels, man. Matthew 24 and 29. It reads, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. The powers mean the rulership, the rulers, the elites shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to the other, from one end of heaven to the other, right? And this is Matthew 25. This is Matthew 25 and 31. It reads, when the Son of Man, it says, see the title? It says the judgment. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him, see this? And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. We're gonna say those on the left hand, verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Right? So this is what the Lord gonna do personally. This is a personal judgment. This is this in Luke 19 and 28. Ain't gonna make this too long. Brother had mentioned this, so I just want to get some precepts on it. This is Luke 19 and 28. Salakia. Luke 19 and 27. Salakia. This is what the Lord say. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. What's it mean before the Lord? He's in the presence, like it said in Matthew 25, right? Matthew 25, he says, slay them before me. Matthew 25 and 32. And before him, who, Yahweh the Messiah, shall be gathered all nations. See? And before him, man. So when they say in Matthew 16 and 28, there be some standing here that shall not taste death until they see the Son of Man come, man. This is a different judgment. There's a grievous, a horrible judgment that's coming to those that take the micro C here, man. Then that's a different judgment. If you still be standing when Yahweh shall return, man, let's get this. In Revelation 19 and 11. I'm gonna read the one in Second Ezra. This Revelation 19 and 11, because it's the same. This Revelation 19 and 11 on down to the same precept. It links to the same precept in Second Ezra 13. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. The Lord is coming. Was that Revelation 5? He went forth conquering and to conquer, man. He's finna destroy these nations. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, which is his rank, his authority. That's what it means. He had a name written that no man knew. It's his authority, his rank. It said the Lord, Yahweh said all powers, Yahweh shall say all powers given unto him from the Father. That's his rank, man. And he was clothing it with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God, which he is. That's John 1. John 1 and 1. And they tell you that in verse 14 of John 1 and 14 that the word became flesh. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth go up a sharp sword, that with it, Salakia, he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he tread the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power. Right? And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun and cried with a loud voice, saying to the fowls that fly in the midst of the heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. These vultures and buzzards gonna be eating these dead bodies. Now let's say, right on here, verse 19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat upon him. Now hold on. What is this talking about? If you it said, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. That mean they seeing Yahweh. Okay? And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worship his image. Those both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Right? So they see Yahweh shall return with that humongous chariot. Right? Let's get this in Second Ezra. Read it from the phone. This called precepts, man. There's gonna be men standing here that should not taste death until Yahweh shall return, man. That's a different type of judgment. Second Ezra 13. Just want to read this point. It say, Second Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That's what it just said right here in Revelations 19, in verse, where is it? Revelations 19 and right here in 14. It say, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. That's what it's talking about. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And that's also in Second Thessalonians. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things, it said, all the things trembled that were seen under him, that were seen under him. And whenever and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. After this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men, a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Behold, it said, but I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was carved, was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet durst fight. See, so there's going to be people standing to fight the Lord, man, and they're going to die. They're going to die. Let's read this again, Ezekiel 20. They're going to die, man. Ezekiel 20 in verse 35. The Lord say, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. He's going to do the purging, purging out the rebels, right? In Deuteronomy. You're going to make this too long. I'm going to hit these points, man. The scriptures is there, man. They here. Deuteronomy 7:9. Because you know I love to bring this out. Fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Shema Shah. Deuteronomy 7:9. Know therefore that the Lord Yahweh thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repay of them that hate him to their face. To destroy them, he will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Personal. This is personal judgment, man. This is a different type of judgment, man. And we don't want none of this, man. I'm gonna fall off, nor either up close. So in Matthew 16:28, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom, man. And another cold thing is, the Lord say he swallowed up death and victory. So you know what else to put off this death? Tasting of death? This body, man. If you be one of those elect men and women, you're gonna get that body. So you'll be putting off this death or this fleshly body and putting on the immortal body, man. That's also considered when Yahweh shall return. There be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Because these bodies gonna be put away, which is death, man. You get old, you get sick, you die. That's gonna be done away with too, man. But is man, Luke 19:27, but those my enemies, which will not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. To get slayed before the king mean he's right there in the presence, man. So I just had a couple precepts I want to read, making that point. Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth that the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the whole elect. Shalom to the author who are listening learning. If your sisters are listening learning, the opportunity in, may Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Till next time I say Shalom, Wa, Abba, May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom.